Welcome back to the training videos. In this video we're going to go over the scoreboard in Wirecast and how we use it. So the scoreboard in Wirecast is always down in layer 4. That's the way we have it set up. If we click on it and go to our edit menu here, in shot layers, our 3-piece of paper icon here, you'll notice the scoreboard is the only shot here. Please do not add a clock, as it will not come across correctly. Also, don't add any camera or microphone audio here, as you will get that audio in the background of your audio ads, which is not what we want. To edit our scoreboard, we're going to go to our 3 dots on a circle here and be brought into our scoreboard properties. First thing you're going to notice here is the names and the scores, along with background color and stuff like that. First thing I'm going to mention we do a little bit differently than most high schools do is how we set up our names. So at the high school level, you usually, on most of your scoreboards, you'll have home and then visitor, home being on the left, visitor on the right. At the professional level, you will see they have it the opposite. They have visitor first, then home second, which is what we do. When we run our productions, the visitor is on the left and home is on the right. So as you notice here in Wirecast, the Crusaders in this home spot are actually our visitors because they're on the left of our scoreboard. And in the visitor slot, we have our home team, which is the right on our scoreboard. So just take note of that. That's the way we run things, and we try to keep everything uniform between all of our productions. Next here, how to run your score here in Wirecast. Pretty simple. Use your +1, +2, or +3 buttons to add score across your scoreboard. The scoreboard in Wirecast is the only shot, to my knowledge, that will update automatically. So when you click +3 here, instead of 3 it'll go 6, and it will also update over here on your live window, so no need to hit your spacebar after entering in a score. If you accidentally click one of these buttons wrong and get the wrong score, you can click in the box, highlight, and change the score to whatever you wish. Next thing we're going here is background color and text color. We try to match these up to the school colors if at all possible. Darker colors usually work on the background, lighter colors for the text. Some school colors you may have a little bit of trouble with. So if we go in here to background color, click on it. One color that I know is pretty hard to see is white on a background, and if we do a dark purple text, for example, doesn't look too bad. That is a little harder to read. If you would get a white and a yellow, that becomes really hard to read. If it's that case, you always can flip the colors around to try and get rid of that problem. Do your best here to try to get good colors. You want the text to be readable for sure. I'm going to change this back to blue here because that's what they are. But try to get your colors as good as possible. Try to match them up to the school if at all possible as well. Usually white for a text color is a very good base color for text. Kind of works well on any background color, save for a really light yellow or something like that. Moving down here, I should mention one more thing about the names here, is we try to keep our names uniform in text size. So if I click on my big A, little a under each one of these names, this one is set to 9 on the Crusaders. I'm going to click OK. I'm also going to set my Warriors here, go to my big A, little a, I'm going to set this to 9 as well. I do not want 2 text sizes that are not uniform. It looks weird if you have one name that is smaller or bigger than the other. And the last thing, a little glitch in Wirecast formatting wise, is you need to have a space in front of your name, in front of the first letter of your name here. Otherwise, you'll notice Crusaders here in the box is off to the left a little bit. I do have it aligned at center currently. You just need that space in there in order for your actual name to get centered properly. Some shorter names might take 2 spaces like Warriors here, so just be aware of that. Take a look, make sure your names are centered. Moving down here to our fields. In Field 3, Field 4, there's nothing. We don't use these. Field 1, Field 2 are going to vary based on the sport. In football, Field 1 is going to be our down and distance here. And Field 2 is going to be our quarters. So a football setup is going to look a lot like this, and you will change your down and distance and quarters when you need to. Basketball, next, what I do is I come in here. Field 1, I'm going to do my level of play, especially if I'm doing JV games or C games before that. I'm going to put in C game, JV, varsity to let people know what level I am broadcasting. In Field 2, I'm going to do periods or quarters. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, first, second, third, fourth if you wish. Volleyball, a little different from both of those sports. Field 1, I'm going to do set. So set 1, set 2, set 3, so on and so forth. Field 2, I'm going to do sets 1 by either team, starting off at 0-0. And whenever one of my teams on my scoreboard wins a set, like the Crusaders here, I'm going to change that 0 into a 1 for the corresponding team. Other than that, scoreboard pretty simple to run. One little caveat I should say is if you're adding in score here, I'm going to click +3. Notice you get a highlight around here. One thing you need to do before you exit out of your scoreboard using hotkeys, you need to come over here and click on smooth in order to get your mouse to unrecognize itself over here. If you click +3 and try to hotkey 3 like I'm doing now, nothing will happen. If I click smooth and hit +3, then I'm able to hotkey away from my scoreboard. If your hotkeys aren't working and you were in your scoreboard last, a good rule is just to click smooth and try your hotkeys again. But that should be all for this video. Hopefully you got the information you needed.